Okay, see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosme, right out of Oklahoma City. Today, I am hanging out with Tyler with Hollow Front. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And then we got Taylor. What is going on, Taylor?
Back again, man. What's up?
And Sam is unfortunately not here today because he is having some technical difficulties. Like he usually does, and I almost messed up saying Tyler's name. I almost did say Taylor.
Yeah, that might happen once or twice this whole time.
No, I think it will. I can actually see your guys' name at the bottoms. I don't think you can, but I can, and so I'm going to use that for reference sometimes. It is kind of confusing. So
yeah, just got a couple of bearded dudes with the same kind of name on here, and it all just kind of goes into gray.
Beards and
just
T names.
T names and beards, man. That's a record name.
So Hollow Front from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Is there a lot of metal bands out there?
There's bands. It's definitely died off in the last few years. When Hollow Front first started, like Grand Rapids had like a million local bands. Not so much anymore. A few are still left. The west, I think the east side probably has more bands, but yeah, west side of Michigan has some good bands.
Don't tell that to the east side, dude. The east side's gonna hear this. They're not gonna like it.
Shout out west side.
Right. So the band's been around, I guess, since 2016. Is that right?
Yeah, we started. It's almost been 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that crazy how, 2016 to me seems like it wasn't that long ago, but it's been 5 years.
Yeah, it passed super quick.
Are you guys still with the same record label? Did you guys come out with what's it called? Still Life?
Yep. We are since not on that record label anymore. We are signed to UNFD. So that has like, Era, North Lane, In Heart's Wake, all those kinds of bands. Right. A lot of Australian bands.
Yeah, some Aussies. Sweet.
You knew that? You knew that, Taylor?
Yeah, man. It's a bunch of Aussies, dude. They're really, really friendly and will like shred everybody at like surfing and any extreme sport at all.
And music. Their music's good too.
Insane, dude. Polaris, all those dudes from down there. They kill it, man. That hardcore scene is fresh.
Dude, I'm going to listen to some Australian hardcore, I think now. I think I have to. So when you guys you guys were signed to, what record label was that?
It's called Beckwith Records. It was just like a small little local label. We didn't really, when we signed to them, we weren't really thinking long-term or big picture. It was just kind of like something we did at the moment. And then things kind of just started taking off from there. And then we got the attention of the higher ups, a little bit more higher up in the industry.
Do you think that's like there's a difference for that for anybody who's listening who might be in a band trying to get that way? Do you think there's a difference in how you operate as a band from not being on a label to being on a label?
No. I say no only because you should put this, like, I know like a lot of bands will get signed and then they'll be like, well, we're signed. And now,
that's a lot of people treat it that. Yeah. A lot of people treat it that way.
No, the label's not there to hold your hand. They're there to give you money to record, and you're supposed to do what you've been doing that got you their attention in the first place. And you're supposed to do it bigger and better, hopefully.
Yeah.
Do you think that most bands, when they get signed, they're like, great, we're signed, and then they start getting lazier? Or does the record label kind of say, all right, guys, now that you're signed, you have to come out with like this many songs, or you have to do this, or you have to do that? Are they the driving force behind a band that's signed to a record label?
I mean, they're obligated to put out those songs on their contract, but the label's not going to stand over them and, hammer them into submission to do it, I think
good label.
I think the main problem with young people in bands is they expect it to be like it was 20 years ago, and it's just not. It's not. It's a grind always until you get to the tippy top. And even then, you should still grind, because if you stop grinding, that's kind of when you lose your spark, your fire, and then you kind of fizzle out. you might stick around, but you're putting out albums that nobody cares about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that to agree with you, man, I think a lot of people have that misconception of like, man, I get signed, I make a little money, then all I'll do is spend my days in like hot tubs and writing really sweet guitar riffs, and like that'll be it. You know? Yeah.
I wish I had some money. I've never made any money off of this band. I think that's also a thing too. It's like, we've been a band for 5 years. I've never paid myself. Like, you shouldn't pay yourself, like, until you absolutely can. Like, it wasn't ever about making money. It was about living my dream. The money
for us, it's the same way, man. The money goes right back into the anything that's made goes right back into the project.
Yeah. Once touring's back and stuff like that, and we're touring full time, then we'll make money like that. We'll be employees, you know. But right now we haven't really done any of that. So it's, don't pay yourself, keep working hard. Don't rely on a label. Don't sign to a small indie label, because I think that, no offense to them, if they're listening or if they hear this, like, they didn't do anything for us. It was, we owed them money, and now we pay them a percentage of all of our royalties. We could have made all that money.
Right. Well, you could make that money without them. That actually goes into my next question of, what's the difference? And I'm sure it's different for every band and different experiences that people have. Like, not everyone's going to have the same experience. But what's the difference between a small indie label and like the bigger label that you're signing onto right now for you guys? How has that benefited you?
I don't want to say money, but money is definitely
getting stuff paid for is huge, man.
Getting in with a company that has deep pockets is definitely beneficial compared to a little tiny label that doesn't have any bands. Like I would, like on that record label that we were on, we were the only band that was performing. Like all the other bands were, you know, they had a lot smaller numbers. So on this label, we're the small fish, and they have like North Lane, and they have like all those really big bands. They used to have like August Burns Red, and they used to have they have like all those big bands. So I feel like
it feels good to be the small band. Like it feels good. Like you obviously want to be a big band, but it feels good when you're with the label that has all these bigger names than you are, because you see the growth potential, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
that means they have something that they value about you guys just as much as they do about these other bands that they see all this potential in. And that's got to be a huge compliment, not only to, you know, your music, but the fact that you guys have grinded, because, man, labels don't pay attention unless you are on that grind.
For sure. If you're not touring in some capacity, if your music isn't well produced, if you just don't have the image, all these things are negative contributions to what labels see. You know, they're like, the thing is there's so many bands. There's unlimited amount of bands.
Dude, I know. Tell me about it. I know.
To get any kind of recognition or from the industry at all that's the first hurdle. Like that's the first hurdle in a career long line of hurdles.
Yeah.
Everything's, forever. It's always going to be a hurdle. So it's always an uphill battle, but it's worth it in the end, because it's not like you get the satisfaction of releasing something that you worked really hard on and like having people take you seriously.
You take pride, and then you put it out there and people actually listen to it, and it makes you feel good, you know? Being in a band is hard. For both of you guys, I'm not in a band anymore, or ever was I in a serious band, but I can only imagine the sense of self-pride you take when you work really hard on something, get in the studio, and then it comes out and it's like perfect, exactly how you want it to sound, and then people start listening. Like, that has to be a good feeling. So,
yeah, it's Holofront's my 12th band, and so
same way.
They and this is the first time anybody's cared. So I think I think it's for Holofront, I think it was equal parts hard work and equal parts relatable lyrics, and equal parts just like catchy music. People like the music.
We're going to talk about how Holofront started and some other things when we get back. I do want to play this song right now. Loose Threads is the first song I think you loaded on here.
Yep.
Yep. I think this. If it's wrong, let me know when we play it, but I think this is Loose Threads. Let's jam it right now. Here we go.
that make sense. Of all places, you'd be at the end of a thread. Oh my brother, are you breaking down? Because I know that you have been crying out. Oh my brother, what are you searching for? To take my hand, you're not alone anymore.
Dude,
Cool ending.
Dude, that whole song is sick. I want to say
That's
one
hot.
thing. I hear a lot of bands, okay? I think you're episode 114, all right? So I've heard a lot of bands, a lot of metalcore sounding bands. I will say this. You guys you bring a sense of originality that I haven't heard yet from, I don't think, any band, and that's the very